Live this morning from New York City under the auspices of our mother station, Radio Biafra, London. Our leader's name is Mazi Iyke, and right now as we speak, he's going to lead us in prayer. So let us all bow our heads together and pray. Let us pray.
Without whom we cannot function, and unto him we give every honor and every adoration wherever you are. I will ask you, if you are in the spirit, to remain so. If you are outside the spirit, we ask you to come into it. Because what we are preaching from here is a gospel of redemption, as directed by Chukwukika himself in heaven. And this very gospel, we must preach it. Therefore, we must pray. We give thanks unto thee, O Elohim, for there is none like thee. There can never be any like thee. You are the beginning and the end. You are the Alpha and the Omega. Our lives are in the palm of your hands. We commit all that we are unto thee. We have come as the ancients did before us, as our ancestors did before we came, to offer praise and adoration unto your holy name and no other. For we do not worship any idol. We do not worship anything born of a human being. We do not worship anything carved out of a tree. We do not bow down before anything molded with the hands of men. It is only thee that we worship. That is why we have come this very evening on this hallowed platform that you yourself created, to offer you unadulterated praise and to hand over to thee all that we can ever become, because Biafra is yours. This very family of IPOB, you molded yourself. You decreed that IPOB must come, and now that we have come, that we may worship thee, O Elohim, please accept our offering of praise and sacrifice unto your holy name, because there is no other like thee. We will continue to adore thee. We will continue to worship thee. And as I said before, and I will reiterate, as we pray unto thee, that Biafra is your possession, we will sacrifice Biafra unto thee, that you may guide us in all that we do. It's only you that sees the hearts of men. If there is anything that we are hiding, if there is anything that we have concealed from our people, oh Elohim, you will judge us very harshly. But if our hands are clean, our hearts very pure, you will bless IPOB. And you will, but if our hands are clean, then you will bless my family, because it's a promise from you. All our hope and our trust is upon thee. May your name be glorified. May you be exalted. May you, O Elohim, be praised. Now and forevermore we pray. Ise, Ise, Ise.
All I know, I hope is ever for sure. One day we must be free. Elohim, yeah, we told us to go. Biafra is guaranteed. Yeah, people around the world praying for peace to reign, praying for peace to reign. Father, the mother everywhere, praying for peace to reign. I got to sing, I got to sing. Make a human, a human. I got to sing, I got to sing. Make a human, a human. Innocent people are dying every day. Church children are crying every day. Let me tell you what you need to know. Freedom is guaranteed. Let me tell you what you need to know. You must be free. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, 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 oh, oh, oh. Hey, 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 oh, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey. Are you going to marry? Freedom, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom, freedom. freedom. I just want to marry. None kind of freedom, freedom. I just want to marry. I just want to marry. Biafra freedom, freedom. Hey, I just want to marry. I like the scream, better green. Tell the kids to the enemies. They call me evil and Hebrew. Say the same, we will never give up. We made a creed, now we wanna go. Tell the world that I got it straight. Wayo, 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 wayo. Hey, I am on the married. Wayo, hey, I am on the married.
Fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I am Edmond Sumudu, the former Deputy PRO, Ipob Brazil, under the leadership of Mazi Iyke. We want to congratulate Ipob all over the world for their job well done by setting up instant security network, and also to warn Eastern governors and senators to keep up the way Umuchukwu Kabia Magata. Obonye biari kunwa ruto bu na nwo biari ka nwona obu no di ana oga no kubeze nnehu Eastern governors nye na efe n'ụzọ asebe nwata na ebe akwa na atụ aka nne ga anọ ya nna ya anọ ya nye na ya efe n'ụzọ onye kacha tukwu ụzọ ife ọpụkala owele o Ipob kọtụkọrọ
More time, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. All right, this morning we got it again today. Continue with our struggle, which is not over until it is over. We're broadcasting live from New York. So what I'm going to do today is yesterday's broadcast. I'm going to have to repeat it. We have to listen to it, and then we'll have to go into our normal conversation. It wasn't such a long broadcast, so we're going to have enough time to talk. Also, let's go to our leaders' broadcast of yesterday, April 19th. 2021. Today is the 19th. Yesterday, April 18th, and today is the 19th. So let's listen to our leader.
Upon the face of this very earth. We are live and we are direct. As you well know, we now broadcast simultaneously on multiple platforms in order to confuse the enemy and to ensure that this very gospel of redemption gets to those who need it most. I welcome each and every one of you, and I know that Maryland is having a fundraiser today. We got our times wrong. It is my fault, actually. It is not their fault. They did not deliberately put it on a day when I was going to broadcast. We had agreed on this very date way before now, but given the urgency of the situation at home, I now said I'm going to broadcast every 2 days, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So it is not their fault. And I will acknowledge them roundabout in about 23 minutes' time. I will join them. I will ensure that our technicians have done all they could so I can join that very fundraiser briefly roundabout 7:30 Biafra time. My name is Mazi Iyke. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this very planet Earth. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, but the most important title that I hold, and above all, is that by this very special grace of the Most High, Chukwu Elohim Adonai El Shaddai, I am and will remain a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. Our job is very simple: to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth, that the scriptures may come to fulfillment. As I keep reminding everyone, anytime you recite the Lord's Prayer, the prayer that Yeshua prayed when they asked him, "Rabbi, teach us how to pray." And he said, "Our Father who art in heaven," signifying that there is only one God, one Creator, one Alpha and one Omega. "Hallowed be thy name," which means there is no other name above that of our Creator. No other name. Because Jesus himself said, "Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come on this very earth," which is the kingdom of Biafra that we're fighting for, the kingdom of God upon the face of this earth. "Let thy will be done in our lives as it is in heaven." Let that promise that you made to us come to fulfillment in our time. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Of course, as mortals, we must forgive those who sin against us. But the ultimate forgiveness lies in the hands of God Almighty in heaven, whom we are praying to this very evening. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke na-adị ngọzi marụ mgbe ebighị ebi. Onye ihe na-akpọ isi ala anyị, anyanwụ, ọnwa, kpakpando na-erubere gị isi. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, naanị gị bụ ọkaka, naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe nụ na anyị ji eme ọnụ onye anyị ji anya isi. Anyị bụ anụkwa ahụ ezi ebere ngọzi, anyị bụ ike ọbụla nna nke ebere. Ọ bụ n'ihi gị ka anyị ji wee je ndị were n'ụbọchị nketa. Anyị wee were njem nke anyị onwe anyị na-aga wee nyefee gị n'anya, ka agbanyeghị ihe ka anyị na-agabiga ụbọchị niile, agbanyeghị ndị nọ n'ụlọ nga, nọ n'ụlọ iko, ndị a na-atụrụ, ndị egburu egbu nna nke igwe, ndị a na-akpagbu ụbọchị niile. Anyị wee na-asị gị ezi ebere ngọzi, biko lekwakwa nke anyị na-ebe n'ude nke anyị na-asụkọ wee bịa n'iru gị, ka i wee gbaghara anyị mmehie, ezi ebere ngọzi, wee mee ka okwu gị na isi anyị wee bịa na mmezu, na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ wee na-agọzi aha nsọ gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile ekere eke mana onwe onye kere, biko bịa ka iwe na ọnọdụ n'ime ndụ anyị n'ụbọchị nketa. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị ka anyị na-akpọ isi ala nye, ọ bụ naanị ka anyị na-aja mma wee na-efe aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Ị gaghị ekwe ka ihere wee mee anyị, n'ihi na onweghị onye ọrụ onye gbakwara n'ime gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi nke ihere na-eme. O mekata ka iwe gharịpụ ndị gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko ka anyị na-arịọ n'isi ezinụlọ gị ba Ipob na ụwa niile eze ebere ngọzi, ụmụ Biafra ebe ha nọ n'elu ụwa. Ọlụ aka ha, ọkụ ọbụla nke ha manyere aka nna nke ebere, ka ọ bụrụ ngọzi n'elu ngọzi. Tụmadị ndị na-eweta enyemaka ka e were hiwe otu nche na ala nsọ bụ Biafra nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ọ gaghị akọ na akpa ndị dị etu a, ọbụladị ndị nke nọ na China, ndị gbara onye ego n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasara Eastern Security Network, ọbụladị ndị nke nọ na Maryland n'oge awa nna nke igwe wee na-atụle ka ha ga-esi weta enyemaka nna nke ebere. Bịa ka iwe gọzie ha niile n'otu n'otu, bịa ka iwe gọzie anyị n'otu n'otu nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. N'ihi na ikpete maazị ikwere anyị na nkwa na mmeri ga-abụ nke anyị, aka nsị ndị iro abụọkwana ha ọnụ nna nke igwe, kwebere ekwensu bụ uzu ya, ịgasawu ya. Ọ bụghị site n'ike aka nke anyị, ọ bụ site na amara gị onye nwe m. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, ịma mma gị na ọmịiko gị ma ọ baa n'ebe anyị nọ, na Biafra ga-abịarịrị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi na-atụfughị mgbe. Anyị ga-aja aha nsọ gị mma n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Ụwa niile ga-esi na ụmụ Biafra nna nke ebere wee ma na ọ bụ gụnwa bụ Chineke nna nke igwe kere ihe niile ekere eke, onye dị nsọ mgbe niile ebighị ebi. Nara ekele, otuto, nsọpụrụ, ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise. I am always in the habit of making sure that we log onto my Facebook page, Mazi Nnamdi. Why I do it is to try to let our people understand that we are fighting, should I say, a multiplicity of enemies from everywhere, from every angle, even those who do not have any need nor reason to rise against Biafra. They are doing so because we are the light and the children of darkness are not relenting. Therefore, this evening, if by any means or chance you happen to be kicked off my page, or they start to disturb it as usual, as they would normally do, may I recommend that you go to Instagram, please. Mazi Iyke official on Instagram. They have not gotten there yet. We are also on Twitter. Mazi Iyke. I am on Twitter. 279.9 thousand followers on Twitter. Please go there. You will find us. We are also on YouTube. University of Radio Biafra on YouTube. We are there. We are also, of course, on our app, which is IPOB Community Radio. Radio Biafra is working. Radio Biafra app, that is. We are on TuneIn. We are on a whole host of networks and platforms. If you wish to listen to us, you are more than welcome to do so. Those of you who are in climates of unlimited data, you can go to YouTube. We are there, streaming very clearly. And of course, a whole host of other people are doing exactly the same and hosting watch parties as we move along this very evening. Do not forget your pen and your paper, because this is the greatest university on the face of this planet Earth, bar none. Here you will learn the truth that will shock you. Sometimes when you hear what we have to say, you may, of course, rightfully so, have need or reason to doubt the veracity of what we are saying, but in the fullness of time, you come to appreciate that everything you hear on this very platform is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We must preach this very gospel because we have been ordained to do so. Elohim in heaven has ordained that we must preach his gospel before the coming of his kingdom on the face of this very earth. That is why I have said to all of you repeatedly, the reason why Britain doesn't want Biafra to come is because Britain believes rather very laughably that should Biafra come, after that the Messiah will come. That is why there is no way they can allow black people to be free. It's impossible for them. And as we well know, once you have the likes of the Janjaweed with you, once you have people who are willing to do whatever it takes to subjugate their own kind, your work becomes a lot more easier. You see, white people don't have to do very much to hold black people down in bondage and in slavery. Not very. All they need to do, they don't need to come to hassle you. They just go to your fellow black people and get them to do the subjugation and the oppression for them, which the Fulani Janjaweed and to an extent your governors are now doing right across the zoo, not just in the east, but everywhere across the zoo, because they see themselves as being privileged enough to lord it over other people who are less fortunate. This evening I'm going to start by laying, of course, as we always do, a very firm foundation upon which our discourse this evening shall rest, for you to try to understand the effort that people are putting into trying to stop IPOB. I want IPOB family members all over the world to understand the pride of place they occupy in the minds of those that yearn for freedom. I want IPOB family members to understand that you are the nightmare that the zoo is afraid of.
I want to remind you that this was yesterday's broadcast, and I need you to make sure you have your pen and your paper, because we're going to be discussing this at the end of this program. Our conversation is going to be based on this, so keep listening.
And I'll prove it to you now. Only I forget about all these other chaffs and idiots. It's only IPOB that the zoo is afraid of once it comes to Biafra Restoration Project. And I'm going to prove it to you now. I'm going to start by trying to analyze the news that hit the airwaves, or should I say, that was published earlier today by the news agency of Nigeria. Of course, it was syndicated, which means that every news outlet in the zoo is encouraged to carry it. It is from the Minister of Information of the Zoological Republic called Nigeria, that contraption created by a white man, not black people, that racist construct. United Africa Company, from there went to Royal Niger Company. A limited enterprise designed by the British to serve their interests. But unfortunately and very sadly, we black people have refused to learn and to listen. But this evening I shall remind all of us of our duty and responsibility to one another to try to shed the yoke of neocolonialism wherever we find it. This headline reads, "Don't listen to secessionists, Lai Mohammed tells Nigerians." You must pay particular attention to this. Despite all the raging insecurity in the land, despite the dastardly exploits of ISIS in West Africa, despite the murderous, tendencies of Boko Haram and every other Fulani terrorist group, because some of you should not forget that every terror group in Nigeria is owned and financed by the Fulani. That is something you must understand. Rather unfortunately, and rather very pathetically, some of you are yet to come to terms with this very reality. To top up the misery for the masses, they control the army, they control the police, they control the customs, they control every arms-bearing agency in the land. Every security agency is in their pocket. And on top of that, you also have the presidency of the zoo that they are now, have complete and total control over. In other words, you people are living in the era of the Fulani rule. You are living in the era of the caliphate without knowing it. Because you don't have elections in the zoo. You don't have any democracy in the zoo called Nigeria. What you have is the rule, a very primitive rule of the Janjaweed. And to make things worse, there is nobody who is actually in charge. And also I'm going to prove that to you later on. That we are the ones, we are their tormentors. We are the ones that they are most afraid of. No other person. Anything we say on this platform, the zoo, they listen very attentively. They pay very close attention to it. And they do the best they can, either to mitigate it or to try to rubbish what we are doing. And each time they fail, each time they try to make us look bad, they end up looking very, very ridiculous. I'm going to prove it to you this evening. This news broke this evening, was carried by many newspapers around the zoo. If you Google it, you'll be able to see it there. Don't listen to secessionists. Lai Mohammed tells Nigerians. He said, do not listen to people who are agitating for freedom. Now, let us proceed. He said this very day, today being Sunday, that the federal government was working hard to improve national security and prevent all secession tendencies, which means what we told you earlier today about the abductions that they're doing, which happened this evening in Uguta, as a matter of fact. The abductions that they're doing, their concern is not the Fulani Janjaweed they imported from the Sahel. No, that is not their concern. Their concern is also not the Fulani bandits who are raping, pillaging, and killing people all over the place. That too is not a concern to them. What concerns them is secession. If you are somebody raised on this warped sense of nationalism, if you're one of these people unfortunate enough not to reason properly or reason anything through before you embark on either critique or embracing of that very subject or discourse, if you're one of those who are not well educated, you will think that fighting for nationalism in Nigeria, or should I say, preserving Nigeria is a very good thing. But actually it means you are badly educated, you are ill-informed, and you are highly unreasonable. Why am I saying this? Because Lai Mohammed is telling you that their problem are groups that are involved in trying to divide Nigeria. But I want to remind each and every one of you that this same lame, weak argument was espoused by supporters of the British Empire during our colonial days, the time that the zoo was under colonialism. And having said this thing today, as I'm speaking to you right now, there is a man called Bishop Etete. He's been abducted from Akwa Ibom this very day. Chinedu Egwuonu was also abducted in Akwa Ibom as well. That one was abducted on the 6th of April. Nsikak Abase also abducted by the DSS. The reason why I'm making this announcement this evening is that anytime people get upset, these people, they have relatives. Anytime we keep crying and lamenting, and God decides to send his angels, the unknown government, to go and avenge this level of humiliation, some of you begin to complain and to mutter to yourselves. When Nigerian government themselves are committing high crimes and misdemeanors, all of you keep quiet. How can you go to people's home and you abduct them and take them to Iguacha? Their telephone, their mobile phones were tracked. Where we lost contact was on entry into Iguacha. They switched off all their phones. That's what they have done. They are now in Igor, maybe in DSS or whatever headquarters that the Fulanis have planned for us. And in all these places, you have the Fulanis who are in power. These people are fighting for freedom. The same way that Nnamdi Azikiwe fought for freedom, should I say to an extent, independence, for the same people today who are hell-bent on killing everybody, fighting for the same thing that they fought for under British rule. Britain argued, or should I say those that believed in the empire argued that if you allow all these countries, if you allow India to become independent, the jewel in the crown they used to call India, if you allow South Africa to go to the Boers, if you allow all these countries in Africa to become independent, that will weaken the British Empire. We are one. We speak English. English language binds us together. The same stupid, spurious arguments being made up by the likes of Lai Mohammed till this very day. Why did the likes of Azikiwe fight for independence? Why did the likes of Awolowo fight for independence? How come, I'm asking, how come the likes of, to an extent, very limited extent, Enahoro fight for independence? Why? Okotiebo, why did they fight for independence? Why didn't they all argue that we should remain in one big British empire, one big family being ruled by the Queen? Even when they got independence in 1960, how come in 1963 they argued that the zoo should become a republic? That the Queen should no longer be the head of government of Nigeria? Why did you do that? Why is it that now that people are agitating for exactly the same things that you fought for and agitated for under colonialism, you have issues with it? Let us look at what Lai Mohammed has to say. They are working very hard to improve national security by abducting people today in Uguta. They abducted some people today in Uguta as well, not just in Akwa Ibom. In Uguta today, they went and they abducted some people there. The man ran away, they took the wife. A woman. This is what Fulani people are doing. Any day now, people become angry and enraged and they react. All of you will come on social media and on your useless newspapers and be yapping rubbish. Today that the DSS are busy abducting people, you will not say anything. And I want to ask you this question. How many Fulani bandits has the DSS abducted before in the past? Shegumi knows where they are. How many of them have been abducted? The answer is zero. Absolute zilch. Nothing. He gave this, he was speaking on a radio program, I think it was in Lagos, it's called EB, Abasade. He urged Nigerians not to listen to IPOB, not to listen to Mazi Iyke. That's what he's doing. He said, speaking specifically on the issues around security, Mohammed said that federal government's efforts in that respect necessitated the town hall meeting on security held on April 8 in Kaduna. The people causing the problem are the same people that they went to have a town hall meeting. In the same state, being governed or being ruled by a man, that midget El Rufai, that openly told all of you that he was traveling to Chad, to Niger, to Mali to go and pay Fulani terrorists and bandits to stop killing all of you. He was the man, when asked what was happening in southern Kaduna, he said that the Fulanis were exacting revenge. A governor, that was where they held this town hall meeting. I want to let the whole world understand that Nigeria itself is steeped in hypocrisy. That is something, every time I come on air, I keep lamenting about the state or the mental well-being of black people, how we absorb information and how we analyze it. I keep saying this all the time. I don't know if some of you actually sit down to give a deeper reflection on this very issue I harp on about all the time. They held a town hall meeting, not in the south that hasn't been ravaged that much by terrorism, but in Kaduna. The same Kaduna that was the epicenter, the beginning of present-day Fulani banditry started in Kaduna, in southern Kaduna. That's where they held this very meeting. That is to tell you that they have taken over your lives. You people are worthless. And I'm saying this with every sense of clarity and sincerity, that People in the southern part of Nigeria, you people are slaves, but the funniest thing is that you don't know that you are slaves. You see, in order to occupy you, in order to make you feel relevant, they keep saying, oh, the presidency will go to the south in 2023, which means forget about every other thing that is happening to you right now. Focus. It's just like promising somebody you're going to heaven. If you go to church and pay tithes, you go to heaven. As if they've had anybody from heaven come back to tell them that, hey, I went to heaven, this is what it looks like. They keep promising you 2023. As you're looking at 2023, your land, your forests, your farmlands are being taken over. They are concentrating power upon, despite the fact that the Fulanis are in control of every facet of life in the zoo, they're even piling on more power upon the one that they have already. And all you can do is to talk about one Nigeria. The meeting brought stakeholders together to chart a way forward. Let me ask you, did any of you, were you aware of any meeting being held in Kaduna or that was held in Kaduna on the 8th of April? Stakeholders is basically Fulani people, maybe from Chad, from Niger, from Timbuktu, with the Sultan in charge. They said that they setting benchmarks for enhanced security and national unity in Nigeria. Unity by force. Unity, the same way that Britain tried to hold their empire by force, crush, imprison, kill, jail. It didn't work. It has never worked anywhere in history. And Nigeria is not going to be an exception. It will never, ever work. They said that their deliberations, or should I say, their conclusions, were presented to the Federal Executive Council and state governors on Wednesday and Thursday of this week gone, respectively. Lai Mohammed pointed out that what united Nigeria was more important than those issues threatening its continuity. And I want to ask anybody with any sense of, I don't know how to put this so that people can actually understand me. I want people to ask themselves this question. What are those things that unites Nigeria? I know some idiot will tell me that an Igbo man trading in Sokoto, in Uguzo, in Kotangora is what unites you. The same way you have Igbo people running successful businesses right across the whole of Europe and in the Americas. The most successful immigrant race into the United States of America are Biafran people. I think it's an official document, isn't it? The most successful immigrant race into the USA are essentially Biafran people. Are they not doing very well in the USA? They are excelling in the USA. Is anybody in their right senses ever suggesting that we should be one country with the USA because our people are doing very well? I want to be very generous to the likes of Lai Mohammed and all those misguided nationalists that you have in the zoo called Nigeria. It's a very simple question. If you claim that somebody doing business successfully in Maiduguri or in Bauchi is a panacea, is the reason why we should be together as one country, there are people who are doing very well in the UK as we speak, running successful businesses. It doesn't matter if they are Biafrans, there are Yoruba people doing exceptionally well. These are multimillionaires in pound sterling. Are you now implying that Britain should come back to recolonize us because there are people who are doing very well in Britain? Simple common sense. I'm sure that you know that the answer is no. So I want Lai Mohammed and all those peddling this fictitious line that now what holds us together is more than what divides us. What is holding us together now is Fulani laziness and Fulani greed. Their lecherous behavior. Blood-sucking demonic behavior. They contribute nothing to the national covers. I keep asking myself all the time, if you sit down and you ask yourself, what is it that the Fulani Janjaweed, especially their so-called elite, are contributing towards the national development of the place called Zoological Republic of Nigeria? The answer is absolutely nothing. All they do is that they steal. The ordinary Alamajiri Janjaweed may move cattle from place to place. At least they provide meat to an extent to those that want to eat their useless poisoned meat. What does a Fulani, ordinary Fulani Janjaweed so-called elite,
All of them that are stealing money and sharing it in Abuja, in Kaduna, in Sokoto and all that, just tell me what they have contributed. I keep asking this question, nobody can answer it. Absolutely nothing. But Lai Mohammed is saying that what binds us together is more than what divides us. And he went on to say, listen, we are moved by security issues around the country and called for a meeting of all relevant stakeholders on April the 8th in Kaduna. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. I'm quoting verbatim what Lai Mohammed said. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. Then he started to mention the problems of Nigeria. Number one is the beloved IPOB. Second, Boko Haram. And thirdly, farmer header clashes, not Fulani bandits. The reason why this animal called Lai Mohammed mentioned Boko Haram is because over the years they tried to coerce Boko Haram to deliver their own agenda, their own jihadist, Wahhabi, Janjaweed agenda, and Shekau said no. That's why they're including them here. And the last but not the least is farmer header clashes. You know that it is the Fulanis, they claim the same people that told us that those in our forest killing us in Benue, in Agatu, those in southern Kaduna slaughtering us in Zango Kadaf. They said, they opened their mouth, go and Google it, they said, these are foreigners, foreign headsmen. That was what they said. But today, the Fulani rampaging, kidnapping, killing, raping, murdering people, known as Fulani bandits, they are not included in the list of Lai Mohammed. The number one people to appear there is your beloved IPOB, followed by Boko Haram. No other people. No, that is why I said to our people, anybody against ESN, you must be sick in the brain. If those people who are clamoring that they want to also provide 5,000 men, if they are serious, if they are a thorn on the flesh of the zoo, they would have been mentioned. Only IPOB. They talk about secession. They talk about IPOB. It's here. These are the words of Lai Mohammed. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. IPOB, Boko Haram, and farmer header clashes are not new. All we must do is to look for a way forward. What is that way forward? By Fulanizing everybody. By Fulanizing everybody. These are the things that some of you must understand. And what they intend to do, as they have done in the past few hours, is to unleash their so-called DSS that can never catch Boko Haram. DSS can never catch ISIS in West Africa province, which is ISWAP. But DSS can never ever catch Fulani bandits. The only people they catch, you be in your house sleeping at night. They will storm your place with their darkened the hillocks and they're doing cowboy, abducting innocent people who are not armed. You must understand this very carefully what they are doing. That is Nigeria for you. And they claim that they're doing their job. Because we are the people threatening the complete Fulani takeover of the whole of Nigeria. Only IPOB. I'm sorry to say. That is why we are being mentioned. You know what Lai Mohammed said? He said, we are aware of them, which means he's aware of IPOB. The government is working. Secession is not the way out of our challenges. You don't cure a headache by beheading the patient. The things that unite us in Nigeria are more than what separates us, he said. The minister said that the stakeholders at the town hall meeting in Kaduna came up with some recommendations to further secure and unite the country towards progress. Always unite, unity. Nobody talks about your well-being. Nobody is concerned that Yoruba people are refugees in Benin Republic. Nobody is concerned about what DSS is doing. Nobody is concerned about what goes on at army checkpoints now in Biafra land where people are being slaughtered. Nobody is concerned that the whole of Bende, right now as I speak, is full of Fulani jihadists with their cattle. Your well-being. Let us not even talk about employment or good roads or good schools or hospitals. That one can never come. We are talking about your own survival as a human being. And do you know why Lai Mohammed was chosen to say all of these things? Now listen to why he's doing it. Lai Mohammed is a Yoruba man, apparently, from Kwara State. But he is a Fulanized Yoruba man. He's a Muslim. The same as Tinubu. Because when they pray, those of them who are learned, they pray in Arabic. When they read their Quran is written in Arabic. You cannot read the Quran in English. It has to be in Arabic. Pay very close attention to what I have to say. In other words, the Fulanization agenda of the caliphate is nothing new to him. Because that Fulanization agenda means the recitation of Quran in Arabic for everybody. It means looking towards Saudi Arabia for all that you are as a human being. These are the things you must bear in mind. So to Lai Mohammed and other Kwara Yoruba, should I call them Muslims, is nothing new. For all they care, the supreme leader of all Muslims in Nigeria is the Sultan of Sokoto. It can never be a Yoruba man. Understand this very carefully. The Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of Muslims in Nigeria forever and ever, as long as the zoo stays together as one entity, which it cannot stay, of course. We'll make sure of that. It's going to always be the Sultan of Sokoto. There is no way in this life that the Sultan of Sokoto can ever be a Yoruba man. In other words, every Yoruba person, including Lai Mohammed, including Tinubu, every Yoruba person, especially a Muslim that subscribes to one Nigeria, they are saying that in perpetuity, the Fulani will lord it over us. Some people may try to draw the analogy with Christianity and say, how about the Pope? There's never been an African Pope, but of course, at least it is subject to a vote. One day, who knows, a black Pope may emerge. It has something to do with us. The same thing that I have against some of them of the English persuasion when it comes to Christian worship, Anglican Church. There is no way in this life the Archbishop of Canterbury, appointed by the Queen of England, can ever be a black person. It's not possible. It's not possible. It can never be done. The same way there is no way in this world that the Sultan of Sokoto, the supreme leader of Muslims in Nigeria, will ever be a Yoruba man. So every Yoruba person canvassing or campaigning for one Nigeria, you are saying that you have double yoke. Obasanjo emerged, the Yoruba man, as the head of state of Nigeria because the Fulani said so. He came back again and became civilian head of state because the Fulani said so. Shunekon emerged because the Fulani said so. When Yorubas wanted their own person to be the president, Fulani said no. Abiola, and he was not the president. What people are doing inadvertently, what people are doing with them is that they bring this burden upon themselves without understanding the idiocy of supporting one Nigeria. The reason why I touched upon this is because the only thing, Nigeria is a totalitarian state. They give you the misleading and erroneous impression that somehow we're all together in a democracy. Nigeria is a totalitarian state. It's not a democracy. Why am I saying this? Now, there is insurgency all across the north. Restiveness in the south, so to speak. People agitating for their freedom. Let me tell you the recommendation that they come up with in Kaduna. The stakeholders recommended that security operatives be equipped with modern equipment to boost efficiency necessary to win the trust and confidence of the people. Who are the people running your security agencies? Fulani. Who are the people causing the problem of insecurity in Nigeria? Fulani. And I stand this night and I ask everybody who is in that zoo, every animal in the zoo called a Nigerian. I want to ask a simple question. Just name somebody, one person that reported the activities of Fulani killers and headsmen to any police or divisional police of headquarters manned by a Fulani person and something was done about it. 4 times now, the Fulani headsmen have attacked Enugu. 9 times they've attacked Ebonyi. At no point during these attacks did the commissioner for police in any of these states, never ever during these attacks did the commandant or the head of army at 82 Division ever send soldiers to go and stop the slaughter of the innocent in the villages. Never. But they are there. Their job is to keep Nigeria united, not to secure Nigeria. That is why this evening, as we are live on air, I'm announcing that people should stop traveling in and out of Enugu at night. Now the Janjaweed are operating from Loba given to them by Ojus Okalo. Loba is a terrorist base of the Fulani in our land. But you have governors all over the place. You have people living in Abuja and in Lagos, pontificating and talking rubbish every blessed day about their beloved one zoo, one Nigeria. This is what is happening in our land. This was exactly what gave birth to Eastern Security Network. They have met in their Kaduna. They have held a meeting. Nobody said we should recall all headers and ban open grazing. Oh, sorry, not to ban, to enforce the ban on open grazing of 1969. Nobody is saying anything about it. No, 1968. And I must correct myself. 1968. They're not saying it. Nobody is saying that the bandits they claim that came from Mali, from Chad, from Niger should go back to their land. No. All that concerns them is security, because they need to hold all of you down. As they are pinning you down, the Fulanis are coming in and settling in your farmlands and in your forests without you knowing about it. Or you may know, but you cannot speak. Those you are relying upon to speak have been selected by the Fulani themselves to serve their interest. And you call them governors, you call them Igwe, you call them Eze, you call them traditional, you call them local government chairman. These are people. It's a long-running project of the Fulani to select your leaders for you. And they have succeeded. And that is why, in our time, in this age that we are in, Fulani killers can go into a Ebonyi state and kill people. Even the governor will not acknowledge it. The army will come and take away the dead bodies of those killed, so that the world will not know about it. Because if you go to bring me evidence. How am I sure that they killed people in Ebonyi? How am I sure? Meanwhile, the army took away the bodies. But when the Fulanis were doing the killing, they were nowhere to be found. After the killing, they communicated, say, oh, we are done now. Come and take the bodies. The army will come and take away all the bodies. This is happening in Biafra, and this is happening in Igbo land. But you have governors. You have people that claim they are governors. And they said they launched Ebube the other day to protect our land. Within 3 days of their launch of their so-called Ebubago, Ebonyi was under attack. They never responded. It fell upon IPOB to command the Eastern Security Network to go and do the needful to secure our land. And people don't understand what we are facing every blessed day. Every blessed day. You don't understand, because they have limitless number. They have armies coming from, these are Fulani. Nigeria has been promised to the Fulani. Britain has given Nigeria to Fulani people. For some of you who do not know, for some of you who are too stupid to understand, Fulani own Nigeria right now, and they know there is no border. They build railway to Niger Republic. There is no scrutiny, no accountability, nothing. Niger people can come into the zoo and register to vote. They can do whatever they like. And all of you from the south, you're just there looking, saying one Nigeria. Sometimes, sometimes I get very, very upset. And I said to myself, why don't we allow these people to take over the whole of the south, so that your eyes can now open? Because some of you are still blind. You're so foolish. You don't understand what is happening. I'll give you a very simple example. I despise Dangote. He is not the richest man in Africa. And I will tell you why. Because he's running a monopoly. In America, he will be in jail. I keep saying this. Every broadcast I come and I tell you. All of you were there. Let me tell you what the Fulanis have in store for you. Go into ordinary business. In every sphere of the economy, the Fulani dominate. Their stranglehold is total. They own over 90% of the oil wells. The reason why they own these oil wells is because people from the coastal region of Biafra land forgot who they are to allow the enemy to come in. That is why Ogoni land is polluted and can never be cleaned. That is why every year resource control with nothing happening. Because of the efficiency of divide and rule that they applied, of course the British applied. Let me tell you what they have done. Cement. Everybody must buy cement to build a house. Because of the way the white man taught us to build houses. Whereas before we used to use clay to build our houses to maintain the temperature inside at 26 or 27 degrees centigrade. And all of a sudden it's all breeze block. That is a conductor of heat. Let's put that to one side. For you to build a house. Let me tell you how clever the Fulanis are with their British advisors. Everybody needs shelter at some point. If you're successful in life, you're bound to build a house. Even if you don't build, you're bound to rent a house. You're not going to sleep outside. The landlord that built the house or the owner of the house must have built it with a cement. You see how clever they are. The Fulanis thought to themselves, let us control the cement industry. How are they going to control it? By killing off and closing every other cement producer in the country. So that only one man, he's not going to produce the cement, he's going to import the powder and bag it somewhere in Lagos. That's how you have Dangote cement. Over the years. Some of you may have forgotten, but my uncles used to work at Niger Cement Factory at Nkalagu, built by Dr. Michael Opara. Niger Sem is called, on Nkalagu Cement. Some of you have forgotten, but I'm sure if you're as old as I am, you remember BCC Lions of Boko. Have you forgotten Lion Cement? From Benue. BCC means Benue Cement Company. They used to have cement in Benue State. There was Elephant Cement, Ego Cement, Ashaka Cement, Boham Cement. Even Ibeto had his own cement. Now, people complain, they don't have any jobs, they are miscreants, they have no jobs. But you people, the same Fulani that you people idiotically voted for, or claim you voted for, are the people that shut down all these factories. They want Fulani to control you. They gave the monopoly, the license to import cement to one single Fulani man. Dangote. That was why they put Ibeto in prison. EFCC called him and imprisoned him to stop him from selling cement. Only one Fulani, only one, mind you, they're in control of the oil. Only one Fulani man. Some of you are so stupid in Nigeria. I don't know the type of God that made some of you, but I will educate and I will enlighten you. If you listen to us without bias, believe you me, your life can never be the same again. Your brain will open. Let me give you an example of what is happening in the zoo. Before now, there was nothing, and Obasanjo is very stupid, I'm telling you. Obasanjo is an idiot. Obasanjo was the man that rubber stamped some of these things that I'm telling you right now this evening. Not only do Fulanis control the oil well, there were a lot of people, thousands of people working in the refineries. Let me tell you what they did next. They went into the refineries and they shut every refinery down. They went and built a refinery under Abacha in Equatorial Guinea. They went into a consortium with the British and built a refinery in Exeter, in England. Now, this crude oil that previously would have been refined in One, in Iguacha, Port Harcourt refinery, in Warri, or to an extent Kaduna, now we ship them abroad and made every worker in that place useless, rendered them unemployed. Money wasn't coming in. I want people to understand when Lai Mohammed was saying, what holds us together is more than what, all that rubbish, nonsense. I want to tell you how Fulani took over your lives before your eyes, Korokoro, as you're watching Talking One Nigeria, our flag, our team, Super Eagles, Green Eagles, Siglet, talking about the Fulani, we are stealing your lives away from you before your own eyes. Fulani was not content in owning the oil wells. They shut down the refineries where our parents were working, where you could study petroleum engineering, graduate, and find a job to feed your family. That sector was shut down. Remember, they shut down the cement sector. Very critical. Every day there's construction going on, isn't it? It's a very critical sector of the economy. Building raw materials, of course. Fulani, Dangote one man. Now let me tell you what they did very cleverly. They came to the petrol. Not only the oil well is not enough, to tell you how much they hate you. They call you a Nigerian. Let's unite, but they despise you. They hate you. If not, why would they shut down all the cement factories and allow one man to import? I didn't say produce, import. You will have limestone in Nkalago right now in Ebonyi State rotting away. Shut down. BCC in Nuboko, shut down. Maybe you don't have taken it to rebag, not to produce, not to manufacture cement, but to import cement powder and rebag it. That's all that they do. And they claim they love you. They claim they want to see Nigeria progress. I am doing this program this evening to let the whole world understand that there is no basis for unity in Nigeria, because the whole thing is based on evil and wickedness. Why? Because Fulani people are not hardworking people. They can't wake up by 5 or 4 in the morning to go to work. I challenge anybody. All those factories that you see in Lagos, in all those industrial belts, I challenge anybody anywhere in the world to tell me if a Janjaweed can wake up by 4 in the morning to go to work in a factory. I challenge, it's a challenge to everybody. Show me one. Now listen. They took over cement, which is very critical. They took over oil itself. The only way that people, private individuals, share oil wells amongst themselves. That is not enough. Instead of moving that oil to the refinery to be refined, where we can find jobs to make kerosene available easily, to make fuel available to run our car. No, not at all. To tell you how evil they are. Those claiming and shouting one Nigeria, to tell you how satanic they are. They moved all those jobs abroad by shutting down all the refineries that you have in your zoo country. And who is in charge of NNPC? Fulani in the Kiari family. Understand? Now you see what they did. They now moved crude oil abroad to the refineries that they built with stolen money from the public coffers. It doesn't end there. Denying you jobs is not the end. It's not even their problem. Now to bring that refined petrol back into Nigeria, you will not pay subsidy again to bring back into the country what left the country for free. Hey, chai, zoo. Only if black people can reason. They took away cement sector, very critical in the building of any economy in the world. They took away oil, which is the only thing that you have, so to speak. They export it, they export it and they make money. They bring it back and you pay tax for it. Yet no refineries are working. That is how you have fuel subsidy. The meaning of fuel subsidy is that your refineries are not working. Not that they will not work if you turn them on, but because Fulani shut it down, that they may control your lives. 2 sectors. We must all eat, isn't it? Everybody must feed every day. You have to eat something. There is no food you cook in our land without salt in it. No. You must add salt now. It's normal. You cannot have tea in the morning without sugar. Dangote. Ordinary Indomie. Dangote. There was a Biafran I met in Netherlands. He wanted to bring Indomie into the zoo. I think he brought sample. They arrested him at the airport and put him in jail for trying to disrupt Dangote's stranglehold on the, should I say, the ready meal industry, pasta and all this other rubbish that people eat. Only them. Only them. You cannot feed without contributing to Fulani domination of your life. In religion, those of you who are Muslims, Fulani is number 1. Politics, they are number 1. Army, they are number 1. The police, they are number 1. Everywhere, they are number 1. Anytime you talk, unity. They hit you, they kill you, they arrest you, they shoot you, anything, unity. Because they know what they're benefiting. The final game is to hand over our land and our forests to their brothers and sisters from the Sahel. And it's happening before our eyes. One shut down refinery that could have employed millions of people. Ibocha down, Warre down, even Kaduna. Who built Kaduna refinery? It's not Obasanjo. They asked me, said he's diversifying the location of major industries. He wanted to please the Fulani masters that put him in power. They built Kaduna refinery. You have to move oil all the way from the south to the north. They can pipe oil to the north and everywhere else, but they cannot pipe clean water to your homes. They cannot pipe gas to your homes. And they claim, they tell you, we protect one Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. We are going to make progress. Progress how? For how many years? How can you make progress by shutting down industries that employ people, rendering them unemployed, and importing into the country finished items and products that you could have produced in your country? Are you listening to me? So what Lai Mohammed is saying is rubbish. He was born in Ilorin, I'm sure. He's a Muslim. So to him, Islamic rule is nothing. In fact, he'll welcome it. He's a Muslim. That is why he is pushing for the caliphate agenda, that they may dominate our lives. And as I said before, and as one man also said, you cannot in this life control a people unless you have somebody on the inside doing it for the oppressor. I want you to listen to this very clip tonight. Listen very, very attentively. Listen to it attentively. Of course, they can attack my Facebook page or the like. They're wasting their time. After this program, I'll quietly put the SoundCloud there. You can go down and listen to it. If you want to listen to us, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. We are on our app, which is Ipob Community Radio app. We are on everywhere. If you want to, we're on YouTube, of course. If you want to listen, you can listen. I want to play something for all of you.
The evil
listen.
they have done against their fellow blacks.
Listen to this very, very carefully, please. I want you to listen to what I have to play now. I started playing it prematurely. And I've not forgotten those who are doing their fundraising in Maryland, in the United States of America, of course. I do commend each and every one of you who are participating this very afternoon. I think it's afternoon in Maryland. It is afternoon in Maryland. It's about 3 p.m. in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. All of you who are participating, I say well done to all of you. Well done to all of you who are participating at the fundraiser event in Maryland. We need it. And not once, it has to be continuous, please. When you pay tax, you don't pay tax once, it's continuous. We need to defend our land. It has fallen to us to defend it. And we are doing it very, very gallantly, I assure you. We are fighting a whole host of enemies, your stupid governors, some foolish Igwes. We are fighting Efulefus, we are fighting informants, we are fighting Ndeli, we are also fighting the Zoo army, the Zoo, everybody. Only this noble family. And if Elohim is not with us, how can we make the progress that we have made so far? I want you to listen to what this man has to say. He's a preacher, I'm telling you. A preacher of the truth. The conquest of a black man, the enslavement of a black man couldn't have been possible without another black man. After listening to this, you tell me the difference between those that sold us as slaves in the past and the governors and the so-called leaders we have now. No difference. It's only that we have come to say that enough is enough. We can no longer tolerate this rubbish. That's all. I want people to pay close attention to this program this evening. Pay very close attention. In fact, listen to it 10 times over to understand the hopelessness and the idiocy of the brain of a black man. Anybody who believes in Nigeria, believe you me, that person is not worthy to live as a human being. Listen to this. Very, very carefully, please. Listen.
Traditional leaders and the slave trade.
Slave trade.
We blame the whites for the slave trade we went through. We blame the whites that they offended us. They took us as slaves. But let's wait for a minute. Who sold the black man to the whites? Who sold the black man to the whites? Our own traditional leaders. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within.
Always inside.
We are asking the Europeans to pacify us and also to apologize to us Our traditional leaders must be the first to apologize on behalf of their ancestors for the evil they have done against their fellow blacks. Look at our attitude towards the environment and the destruction of our water bodies. All our river bodies have turned into Dabra, and you know what they said? In the next 20 years, if we don't stop this illegal mining, Ghana, we will import water to drink. Yet we don't care, and Chinese, they will come from their country into our forest, destroy our forest, destroy our land, and illegally mine and damage our waters. How can they come if the traditional leaders didn't give them permission to do that? And in one instance, while they were dead, our military went there to protect them. Our own military
Africa.
was supposed to protect us.
Lesotho black.
Protected
Hell,
the
Lord have
foreigners to destroy our water and destroy our forest. The enemy is not outside, the enemy is within. If you look at our own systems and structures in our country, we don't have a better system to improve the lives of people. Pastor, I was surprised when I read in China, they had a 10-year vision, and they said from 2011, their vision was that in 10 years from 2011, and 10 years from 2011 will be what year? This year, 2021, that they will raise over 20% of the people to become multi-millionaires. Now in 2021, they have 1.8 million Chinese who are multi-millionaires in China, and they are between the age of 40 to 50 years. Multi-millionaires. The government intentionally decided that they will make sure they will have 20% of the population multi-millionaires. They also agreed that they will make sure that they will lift up the poorest of the poor, and they lifted 100 million people from begging to live a better life. But in this country, in our country, we fight our own businessmen. Our government will fight our business people. When they know that your business is thriving, and they know that perhaps you are not sympathetic towards the running party or the ruling party, they will fight you, collapse your company, and make you poor. When in China, they want to make the people rich. In Africa, we want to make our own people poor. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. Look at our African.
Do you now understand it? Very clear. A preacher from Ghana preaching the word of God. This is what I call preaching. Not all that nonsense they talk about the 40 million auditorium rubbish. They can never speak the truth. Imagine if every Sunday in the churches that you have in the south, even in the Middle Belt, the priests were to climb the pulpit and repeat exactly what this man is saying. There will be a revolution overnight. What the preacher did not say is that in China, before China became what they are, there was a revolution by the people. Do you understand? This video is very clear. The enemy with black people, the enemy is always within. It's a good thing he's preaching from Ghana. The people that conquered Nigeria for the white man are Ghanaians. The West Africa Frontier Force is from Ghana, recruited from Ghana to come and fight. Fought us at Benin, fought us all the way at Arochukwu. Ghanaians recruited by white people. The same way we have today, those fighting a better tomorrow for our children are the so-called governors, so-called Igwe, so-called idiot, a beggar who lives in Lagos, writing rubbish, claiming he's an intellectual. Compare the future they're offering you to the future that we are offering you. We are offering you a future of employment, a future where the vision of the government will be to produce, let's say, 2,000 millionaires every blessed year. The leaders of China are not making these millionaires for themselves, not the politicians, no, ordinary people, because they love their people. Look at what is happening where we come from. They impoverish their own people. Chinese, how can you build billionaires without industries and factories? But in the zoo called Nigeria, the lives of Ibeto are being impoverished. People who could have been millionaires are being impoverished so that the Fulani that is so work shy and lazy can ascend the throne of power. power riding on our collective ignorance. That is why I hate Nigeria. Not that I hate the people in it or anything of that sort. It is the pervading ignorance that I find almost debilitating, I'm telling you. It is shocking. How long are we going to continue this way? They held their meeting in Kaduna. Nobody talked about youth unemployment. Nobody said, how are we going to get our children meaningfully employed? You claim you love your children. There are no jobs for them when they leave university. You have not sat down to strategize, to say, how do we provide? It is your job as a politician to provide jobs, or at least to create the enabling environment, to allow industries to thrive. But it is not happening because you don't love the people. That is why your first recourse is DSS arrest, army shoot. Because you are a tyranny. You people don't deserve to live. And until we rise above all this nonsense, the country or the homes where we come from, that we are likely to bequeath to our children will be far more worse than that we have encountered. In a country where hard work should be encouraged, where millionaires should be encouraged to emerge, because every millionaire has to employ somebody, even a house girl, or a houseboy, or a gardener, or a cleaner. Somebody is earning money and paying tax. So it is in your interest that you have that everybody is well off. But in Africa, we think that it has to be only us, only me and my family, me and my people, only us, only me will have the only upstairs in the village. It's not very good. The way we reason is very bad. Before our eyes, Ibeto was persecuted to extinction. He did nothing wrong. He's a businessman. He did nothing wrong. They squashed him. Some of you don't know, in a place called Numan, N-U-M-A-N, Numan, in Gongola State, in those, I don't know what they call it. What is Gongola State now? I don't know what they call it now. Is it Yobe? There was a place called Savannah Sugar Company. My uncle, the Mahamefle, used to work there. I was to go there on holidays and I was told that the company has been shut down. Savannah Sugar Company in Numan. Do you know they used to produce sugar? In Yobe State, Yobe, they used to produce sugar there. Nobody is coming up and saying, let us revive this Yobe. It will give our people jobs. You know, with sugar, you do a lot of things with sugar anyway. Some of you don't know that the rum you drink, the Southern Comfort you take. Rum, Southern Comfort. It's sugar from sugar cane. You don't know that sugar is alcohol. You don't know that? Hey. Sorry, Zadamawa. They say Zadamawa. I do apologize. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is Taraba, Adamawa, all this rubbish, all these stupid, idiotic names they come up with. I used to know Gongola State. In Gongola in those days, there is a place called Numan. If Fulani Janjaweed were working in the sugar factory, what time would they have to go and do banditry? Lai Mohammed and his so-called intelligent stakeholder group will not discuss this. You have stakeholders who are themselves bandits, economic bandits and criminals, holding down your fortune and your future on the ground without any of you knowing about it. There is a place, the largest textile mill in West Africa was in Kaduna, built by Ahmadu Bello. It shut down. Today import textiles from abroad. London farm settlement, from where the Malaysians came and learned how to plant palm tree, run down. Some of you, I said this thing many years ago, some were in a shock for days. Let me repeat. Do you know that Nigeria imports palm oil? We import palm oil from the same Malaysia that we taught how to process oil, palm oil. And the people responsible for this destruction of our future will stand up and say, we love you, we love Nigeria. I mean, come on, for goodness sake. Are we that foolish? Are we that stupid? I'm asking all of you. That is why they don't want us to preach. That is why Facebook will suppress, remove people, make things as horrible as it is. But had Mark Zuckerberg been a zoo product, his invention or his creation will not see the light of day. He will not be a multi-billionaire today. People don't understand what we are fighting. We are not just fighting so that we can be free. We are fighting to set other people free, to create a future that our children can remember and say, our fathers did this in our time. The same way that the Chinese are doing for their people. Every blessed day. It doesn't matter. I don't criticize them anymore because they are doing the best they can for their own people. Are you blaming them? Including eating our penises. If that is what makes them fine, so be it. Somebody will come to Africa, kill his own flesh and blood, a fellow African, cut off his penis and sell to the Chinese. And you're telling me that we are normal. Somebody is somehow telling me that such satanic creation like Nigeria should stand. I asked Lai Mohammed, they have never, since they came into power, I have never heard them one day, this useless, idiotic APC, say to themselves, how do we generate employment? I criticize Babangida all I like. But I recall very, very well. In fact, I believe that Babangida's economic blueprint was the best that the zoo had ever seen as a centrally run political entity. Not when they had the regions. And you know the funniest thing? Those who are against secession, so to speak, in their language, those who are against autonomy or freedom for the regions. The only time that Nigeria came close to attaining its potential was when everybody was on their own. Go and ask, consult your history books. Dr. Michael Alokpara's economy was 40% every year, the fastest growing in the world. Awolowo performed these very efforts to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth.
It's not outside.
You would expect them to do that which is right. But you know, there's that thing in us, black people. You know, our wicked, evil nature is natural. That is why a young person will leave school, they recruit you into Facebook, and your job is to suppress the truth. Why did Twitter go to Accra, to Ghana? Because in Nigeria, they suppress the truth. Yet they will not learn. They will never, ever learn. Because they are not as smart as they should be. They are not as smart as they should be. They keep cutting off, keep suppressing, keep doing everything they can. Then we keep going back. We keep going back and preaching the gospel of heaven. Because nobody can stop us. You can't stop us. We are unstoppable. The sooner you realize it, the better for you. And after Oduduwa becomes free, which is going to be, Oduduwa will be free. I am sure that Oduduwa freedom, they will go and fish out all their people that work for Facebook and put them in jail. That would be the best thing to do because they are evil. The young people working for Facebook, their mentality was what made it possible for the white man to leave Europe to come to Africa to conquer everybody. They think they are doing the right thing, but they are making a very bad situation worse. And we must tell them the truth. We have to tell them the truth. I told the whole world that this boy, the boy you have now is not Jubril, representing Buhari. Some of you pretend you don't know. The president is back. Buhari is back. Ay, chai. This Yoji, I will not meet some of you people in my next life. If there is anything, I will not meet some of you. No wonder you can be colonized by anybody. I'm sure if the Chinese, you have to bring their religion tomorrow, some people will be going there to go and die for them. As I told you before, I remember, I think it was Reverend Jim Jones in Guyana in those days that killed a lot of black people because stupid, wretched black people did believe that a white man, Jesus can only be a white man, not a black man. He told them to take poison and they all took poison and they died. Reverend Jim Jones, I'll never forget, from Guyana in those days because he's a white man. Hey, black. I told you before that the man wearing the mask now claiming he's Buhari, a young boy. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. Because stupid, wretched Abubakar Muhammad. You know the mask, the fake mask, the plastic mask you wear, the Buhari's face, the hyper reality face mask. They couldn't make the ear to be very strong. So now, when the boy came back from Britain, Britain built a special N95 mask for him so he can breathe. So you can't even know if he's Buhari again or not, for some of you who are already confused. But we know it is not Buhari. He no longer anchors the mask behind his ear. Is now around his neck, at the back of his head. Because we exposed him that if he puts that thing on his ear will be bent because it's rubber. It's not real. Go and look at the new, people should circulate that very picture. Go and look at the new mask he's wearing. Not Buhari's hyper reality face mask. The COVID-19 mask he's wearing, he no longer puts it behind his ears. It's now behind his head, around his neck. That goes to show that everybody listens to what we say. Everybody, they listen to us. That is why they have learned. They are now anchoring it around his neck, no longer behind his ears. And they say, welcome, Baba. A small boy. He is now shorter than the late dead Buhari. No wonder Dangote can come and take over all your cement needs, so to speak. Shut down every factory. Sugar the same, salt the same, all of you. And you're there shouting one Nigeria. Richest man in Africa, one Nigeria. I have never seen a bunch of more idiotic people than Nigerians. He has a new mask now. Because as somebody said, he's on a pure, a mixture of pure oxygen, nitrous oxide, the chlorine, and phosphorus to breathe. Oh, dear me. I don't know if those of them in Maryland can hear me, those who are doing fundraising for the gallant men and women defending the land of Biafra, Eastern Security Network, ordained by heaven itself. Once again, allow me to commend all of you who are gathered, and also to tell you, anybody who is fundraising, please, make sure that you report everything that you're doing to our sister Nanyanya, very, very important. And also, if you are doing so in the USA, to report to our finance officer in the USA, Madam Oyibo. And if we wait for you and you don't come to us, we will let loose the asset recovery team, and you will not like it. You won't like it. So make sure every fund you have raised is sent to us, please. I know that somebody was responding. Those that stole our money were responding. They said, oh, but we sent this to this. We said, yes, you may have sent, yes. We checked all the statements. The money that you remitted for people who are in detention, people we are releasing from detention, is there. But there is a surplus, which you didn't account for, which you stole. Because you know, two criminals in Georgia. They think that they can be clever by half. You're dealing with people who are more intelligent than you. I went through the whole statement. I saw the ones that you sent, you remitted. And I saw the ones that you stole, you did not account for. It came to 77,000 before you stole the last 4,000 only last week. Did you steal 4,000 last week or not? Ndushi. It was Rumba and Wokenko, two criminals at large. And their lives will be a misery, I assure them. Ndushi. I want the zoo people to understand something, that the Fulanis are in control of your lives. Why we walked against Jonathan in 2015, according to one useless idiot called Babangida Aliyu, the governor of Niger State. They said that the Fulanis, of course, they control the whole of the north. The middle belt, I don't know what is happening to them. Those people, they're a bit confused sometimes. I feel sorry for them, honestly speaking. I feel sorry for them. Babangida Aliyu has revealed why the northern governors under PDP, Jonathan's own party. Have you heard of that? This is where I want all these governors, Iyke included, all these idiots claiming that governors to be able to reason very well. Do you know that are PDP governors? Jonathan was the PDP candidate. PDP governors who are from the north, core north, of course, Fulani Janjaweed North. They did not vote for him. Instead, they voted for another party, the candidate of another party from their own lineage. I want people from Niger Delta, people who idiotically and foolishly claim Niger Delta. Are you listening to me? They did not vote for Jonathan. According to them, Jonathan said he would only contest for one term. That was a revelation that this man made. Do you see the way the Fulani in the north gang up to see how they love themselves? All of you in the south, you're bickering and fighting like a crab in a bucket in Shiko. Anyone who wants to climb, you drag that one down. You see how the Fulani governors are, even though they are in PDP, they voted for Buhari, their own person, their own man, against Jonathan, who is from the so-called South, stroke Niger Delta, whatever that rubbish that means. What is their reason? They said because Jonathan said he will only, be there for one term of elected office, because he took over after Yaradua died, I think for about 2 years. Then he contested, he won, and he was there for 4 years. Fulani said, you promised us. In Fulani, they're always good at remembering what you promised them, but they can never remember what they promised you. So Jonathan was kicked out, yes? Now, they claim that, it was Jubril that came in 2019. Before now, this little boy took over the wearing of the mask. The mask you wear now is Yusuf Abubakar Mohammed from Niger Republic, the boyfriend of Aisha Buhari. Not Jubril. Jubril ran away from Cuba at the height of COVID-19 when Abakari died. One day, all these things will be revealed from sources that I'm sure you will believe. Then some of you will say that this is a prophet. Maybe by then it will be too late for some of you. Now listen very carefully, please. The same people that claimed they voted for Buhari in 2015 and voted for him again in 2019 forgot something. And I will quote for them. Nigeria's Buhari said he would not seek re-election in 2019, according to the minister. This news was carried by Reuters. The same Buhari, you claim, of course, Buhari died in 2017, you know all of that. The same Buhari in whose name you're running Nigeria said, I will only contest for one term. The same thing that Jonathan said. And your excuse for not supporting Jonathan is that he said, or he reneged on his promise to only run for one term. The same thing with your so-called Buhari. But you voted in Jubril under the tutelage of Abba Kyari in 2019. Is that not correct? Or thereabout. Is that not correct? So you did not remember the promise that Buhari had made he will only run for one term, but you remember the one that Jonathan said. That's why you didn't support him. But you supported your own kind. Of course, Jubril wearing Buhari's mask. That is Fulani for you. I'm saying this because of the idiots in the south who cannot reason. Fulani is they go in, they arrange everything. They get a lost soul in Lai Mohammed to dish out the lines for some of you. They pay some Yoruba journalists. They pay them, give them money. And they forget who they are. They forget their job. And today, everybody is suffering. I have told those who are on Facebook, on my page, live there, because Facebook is frustrating everybody. Live there and go to Instagram, or you go to Twitter, or you download the app. Download the Biafra app. It's very cheap. Very, very cheap. I don't know. Some people cannot listen. Leave Facebook alone. On my page, that is. I know others are listening on other platforms. Leave Mazi Iyke official. Leave it alone for them. Let them be hearing me, because Facebook is listening to me right now as I preach this gospel of heaven. They cannot remember what Buhari promised to, but remember Jonathan's own. That's why they kicked him out. These people are congenital liars. Fulani politicians and the idiots they have groomed in the south, they are all liars. And the only way to solve this problem is a revolution. Revolution. A very bloody revolution. And when it starts, don't read newspapers. Because Tinubu will give them money to be writing, is this tribe that did it? Is that ethnic group that did it? No. Once the revolution, believe you me, no newspaper should publish. Only a revolution can save the people. Or else you are all doomed. Because they are all liars and deceivers. These are the same people that say, oh, build alliance with us. Niger Delta, build alliance with us for 2023. The same alliance that was built. And despite all the things that Jonathan did for all of you, Alamajiri, you still burnt his billboard, attacked his convoy violently. Nobody was shot dead. Nobody was shot dead. And all of you in the south, you have all forgotten. Oh my God. Don't allow Fulani DSS, their army and police and others behind the formation of Ebubago to deceive any of you. There are some hotel building freedom fighters who may join them. It is a grand conspiracy to set our land on fire, brother against brother, sister against sister. They have started with the abductions. Any day we pray and our prayers are answered, people will start complaining. But now that DSS is moving from house to house abducting people, all of you are deaf and dumb, you're all blind, you cannot see it. Any day we react now, people will start shouting their rubbish as usual. Insecurity, insecurity. Now DSS is making us to feel insecure. None of you will complain. Of course, you're black people. It was your likes that sold us during slavery. It was your likes that brought in the white man after, should I say, being given chieftaincy title, warrant chief. Black people, sometimes try and love yourselves. I don't know what is wrong with you people. Try and love yourselves for once and do that which is right. Nobody in their right senses should join any Ebube rubbish. ESN is there. We will take you. We have too many Fulani terrorist settlements to clean in our land. So you must come and join Eastern Security Network. I think there was a radio station that did a poll of what the people of the East want. They said it's ESN. They said it openly. We don't trust the governors. If not for ESN, nobody would have thought about this Ebube rubbish that they claim. Have you seen them before? They are floating something. Have you seen any men? Show me one thing to say that this is... What is even their telephone number if you're in distress? If you're being raped by Fulani and you escape, which number are you going to call? Pussy. They keep playing with your brain and some of you keep falling for it and you claim you are educated. And I want to say or to repeat what the former Senator Shehu Sani wrote. I had to truncate it because it was very long. Some of you in the zoo called Nigeria do not understand this. In the US they do, in Europe they do, elsewhere they do. Only those in the zoo called Nigeria. Whoever is elected to represent the people, and the people that he claims he represents are being persecuted, oppressed, killed or kidnapped, and he chooses to cowardly remain silent or sit on the fence out of fear of losing his seat or upsetting or even offending a certain power or authority or mortal god, that person is morally unworthy and undeserving of the seat he occupies. In a nutshell, this is from Sheikh Husani, it's not from me, please. Quote him. I am quoting what Sheikh Husani wrote. All the politicians you have in the East, they are not worthy of the seat they occupy. They are there to protect you. Have they ever protected you? I keep asking you this question all the time. When our sister was killed and cut up into pieces at Huli, what did Obiano do? Now that we are being attacked in Ebonyi State, what is Dave Umahi doing? In Enugu, we are being slaughtered every blessed day. What is the governor over there doing? Or is it in Abia State? And they claim they represent you. They claim they are fighting for you. Yet people are coming to kill you and are killing you. They have not done anything till today. Even with their boastful Ebubago rubbish, audio security, they have done nothing. And you still believe in them or trust them, then there is something fundamentally wrong with you. Therefore, ESN is all that we have, and we must guard and protect it jealously. I want to sound a note of warning to all those in the diaspora. I know that some of you mean very well for what we are doing on the ground, especially our men on the front line. Nobody wants to hear that our men are hungry or that they are sick, they're not receiving the right treatment. Nobody likes that. But I want to warn all of us in the diaspora, please. Very, very important. Stop calling people who are on the front line. You must desist from contacting commanders on the ground from today. No more. Because it breeds insubordination and ill discipline, which we cannot afford right now. If there is any complaint, very soon a number is going to be released. The command of ESN flows from me to our high command, to our general on the ground, who now gives instructions to the men in the field. We don't want a contamination of that chain of command. You may mean very well, no doubt. And all those who are in the business of doing videos, complaining to people in the diaspora, you must stop forthwith. You must stop it immediately. We are not going to tolerate or allow that nonsense to continue. If you are an operative of ESN or a commander, I must also warn you, please, not to contact those abroad unless you are instructed to do so by your state commander. In every state, the state commander is paramount. What he says goes. In the fullness of time, if he's not doing it very well, we will know and we will seek to correct it. Stop speaking to those who are in the diaspora. The zoo can plant people abroad to know where we are. You don't know. After talking to them, you compromise your position. It will be attacked or raided. Please, that nonsense must stop tonight. I don't want any meddling in the affairs of our men on the ground. All the funds being contributed is being disbursed on the ground to meet our day-to-day challenges. You must understand that, please. Every ESN operative in every state is under the state commander. I don't care who you are. Even some Lone Rangers, some special squads that we have, you are under the overall command of the state commander. Every ESN operative in every state is under the state commander, who is under the overall general, who in turn reports to the high command. Very, very important, because the only thing we have to defeat our enemies is discipline. Any army that is disciplined always ends up winning. Very, very important. We understand this today. Discipline is key. And we don't want people who are abroad meddling in what we are doing. It is not good, please. Without discipline, we cannot defeat this monster. Remember that they have their agents in your governors and all the rest of them. You must understand that our governors are evil. And like those that sold our forefathers to the white man, they will do anything now to sell us to the Fulani Janjaweed. They have no conscience. They have no soul. That was why they invited Operation Python Dance 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, if it's before, they bring Python Dance. And as I told you, people should not panic. They say they want to bring their army. They have no army to bring. The zoo, they have no army to bring. Forget all that rubbish. We'll bring our army. You have nothing to bring. And if you try to move the few people you have in Bauchi and in Kaduna and Makurdi down to the east, Fulani, the hardened bandits will overrun your villages. And you know that very well. So all that nonsense will bring is rubbish. They have nothing. One day, they will answer for their crimes. Please, without discipline, we cannot defeat these people. And to all those encouraging these evil and corrupt governors, know that you are aiding and abating the terrorists to take over our land. If you support these, they will be rubbish. You are aiding them because they can't do nothing. How can you form a security network with Fulani soldiers behind you and Fulani police? Are you foolish? The same people that if you ask them to go and arrest one Fulani bandit, somebody will say no to you. So people are saying that we should come together. ESN and the Bubago. I have not seen a Bubago before. How can I come together with something I have not seen? Come together with who? Oh, you mean come together with the Commissioner of Police who is Aliyu Alekali from Fulani? So they will know all our... Okay, now I understand. So they will know our modus operandi, they know all our secrets, how we operate, and then they will go and tell their chief of army staff. They now launch a counterattack against us. That is what they want. So people telling you about rubbish and all the rest of them, they want to set a trap for us. They say, come, let's join together and provide this security. We go to the meeting. They ask us, how many men do you have? How many arms do you have? And all the rest of it, they're going to tell them. Because, of course, you call it joint security, which means the Fulani police commissioner will be there, isn't it? Now, do you see why we cannot be part of that rubbish? Can you now understand the reason why? If they're interested, they should support what ESN is doing. Come and support it. And we are doing a very good job already, aren't we? We are doing a very marvelous, fantastic job already. If you want to know what your future will be like without ESN, go and study the history of Hausa people. I keep telling you this all the time. If you want to know what your village will be like in the next 50, 60, 70 years, go and ask yourself, what is the original name of Sokoto? They will tell it is Gobert. Hausa. Today, it is a sultanate owned by the Fulani.
White, not the white. Oh, we want to be the white. Radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
This is Radio Biafra.
Radio Biafra.
We are not like other people. Because as I once reminded you before we came, there was nobody like us. Now that we are here, they pretend, they copy, they emulate, they fabricate falsehood. But they can never be like us. Long after we are gone, they will wish we lived forever. IPOB is very special. Exceptionally special. The largest mass movement in the whole world, bar none. And we did it because Chukwokika Biama is with us. We did it because Chukwokika Biama created IPOB himself. And we are here to pilot its affairs. We will not prevaricate. We will not stop. We will not slumber until Biafra is fully restored to its former glory. Anybody in doubt as to our resilience and our determination to restore Biafra is not only mistaken, not only misguided, but needs to see a psychiatrist. Because we are not stopping. I am Nnamdi Kanu and I don't stop until I get what I want.
Nnamdi Kanu, Radio Biafra,
See them, they're watching us. We hear them as they calling us miscreant, jobless, terrorists, scammers. It's our name. We are the miscreant. We are jobless and we are terrorists. We are scammers. We must scam you of all you scammed us. Old fools, empty brains, old fools, sold your souls for chicken change. Proud slave to the full on this. We must get you down. Honest, Joshi. Honest, Bande Fundiara. No forgiveness. No forgiveness. We must get you down. Oi, saboteurs. Do your worst. Come do your worst. The governors.
When you look at the time, you see that the time is far spent. I'm going to open up the line. We're going to have a conversation based on what we're listening with, what our leader just told us. Let us listen to him and let us discuss it. You know, call in here. The number is 646-920-4541. 929-4069-953. That's the line for the principal officers and the ladies. And don't forget that our WhatsApp line have changed. I don't even have the number here right now, but I know for those of you who remember it, you can see use the WhatsApp line. I will get it later on the program. So we are going to go straight into discussing. But I see something here, a press release by our IPOB. It says ESN has no plans to attack banks, DSS plotting to sponsor criminals in the name of ESN, IPOB. Actually, this has to do with the robbery that went through. You know, remember when they went out to rob the bank and then putting in a Biafran flag. It's so funny. I never see armed robbers go to rob a bank and then drop their ID. Isn't that something? But they will try. You can do all you want. IPOB, the Biafra is here to stay regardless of what you do, regardless of how much you try. All we need to do is support our ESN, support them diligently. Actually, this my young guys, Biafra Got Talent, they came out with a music, something that has to do with that. I saw it yesterday, and I hope I can put my hand on it right now. I can't even find it anymore, but when I find it, obviously I'm going to have to air it. Okay, this okay, let me go through this release by IPOB media. You know, warning says the attention of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB has been drawn to the threat by Mazi Iyke to deploy 5,000 jihadists to Biafra land to protect their cows and herders following floating of a Bubuago security outfit by Southeast governors. We consider this utterance an insult to the entire Biafrans, and we won't tolerate it despite our grievances against the treacherous Southeast governors and the political elite. The Southeast governors must understand that federal government of Nigeria sponsored Mazi Iyke to make this reckless utterance. The earlier they understand that IPOB is not their problem, the better. They should stop betraying us, but appreciate our sacrifices in defense of ancestral land. The Mazi Iyke and their terrorist group should know that they shouldn't play God forever. They are trying to provoke ESN and IPOB to make a drastic action. IPOB and ESN are running out of patience with their insults. They should retrace their steps now. Let them come. We are waiting for them. Soon they will see ESN in the north. Fulani terrorists are thinking that Biafra land is easy to penetrate the way they penetrate Hausa land and conquered them in 1804. If Mazi Iyke and their sponsors in Aso Rock attempt to do in Biafra land what they did in Hausa land, they will regret their actions. ESN and IPOB are prepared for them. They can intimidate Southeast governors, but they can't intimidate IPOB and ESN. No inch of Biafra land will be relinquished to Fulani jihadists. If Mazi Iyke jihadists step into our land, they will be like abandoned corpses in the bushes and forests in our territory. Nigeria can melt before Mazi Iyke, but not IPOB and ESN. Mazi Iyke must not try IPOB and ESN because they cannot withstand our venom. We therefore declare an end to open grazing throughout Biafra territory. If we get any cow grazing openly on our farms again, both the cow and the murderous herder shall not live to tell their experience. It's signed by Comrade, a powerful media and publicity secretary for IPOB. You have been warned. There are no two ways about it. The warning is very, very clear, and you have to take it the way it has been said. We don't condone this nonsense. And for the so-called Bubago or Nketa or whatever they formed, Personally, I don't take that very serious, because you don't tell me that you already, warming a house without building the house. Over here, when we want to get into new homes, we say house warming. That's what we call it, right? You can't do that unless you've paid the house. You've moved in already, and you make sure that the place is there. These people came out of a meeting with their white agbada and whatever, and told us they formed the Bibago. Me too, I don't have formed my own army anyway. So what we are saying is ESN is our thing. Forget about these people. That's a show. They just went there to talk. They know that they didn't create anything, and we all know. Everybody knows. It's just a little distraction. Nothing is happening. Can't see that.
Biafrans Got Talent exclusive.
If it's not for IPOB, tell me where do I go? If not for ESL, where do we stay? If not for IPOB, tell me where do I go? If not for ESL, where do we stay? IPOB, thank you.
Thank you.
ESL, thank you. IPOB, thank you. ESL, thank you.
ESN is chasing away criminals in our land, in Biafra land.
Before we were truly messed up, but right now we are fully secure. Words cannot tell how we feel about the things you do for us.
Are you struggling to stand for our rights? We say thank you for protecting Biafra land.
Yeah. You've been fighting so hard, protecting motherland against the Fulanis, enemies of Biafra land.
They are the soldiers that we know, bronze to safeguard and keep us safe.
If it's not for IPOB, tell me where do I go? If not for ESL, where do we stay? If not for IPOB, tell me where do I go? If not for ESL, where do we stay? IPOB, thank you.
All right, that's an interruption from the phone that is ringing. I will take calls now, but I will not spend time with anybody more than 2 minutes on the calls, because the lines are. We don't have any more time. Most of our time have been spent. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. I don't know why the call just came in and interrupted my beautiful song by Biafra Got Talent. It's quite good. I just ran into that this morning. I think it's been here for a while. I don't even know why I didn't see it. But I saw it this morning, and I'm very happy that what they did. So let me, I'm not going to take any call on 845-283-9665. If you're calling me there, I'm not going to take your calls. Just use the other numbers, the other three numbers, because for now, this is where the music is coming from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ESN, thank you. IPOB, thank you. ESN, thank you.
ESN is chasing away criminals in our land, in Biafra land.
Before we were truly messed up, but right now we are fully secure. Words cannot tell how we feel about the things you do for us.
Are you struggling to stand for our rights? We say thank you for protecting Biafra land.
Yeah. You've been fighting so hard, protecting motherland against the Fulanis, enemies of Biafra land.
They are the soldiers that we know, bronze to safeguard and keep us safe.
If it's not for IPOB, tell me where do I go? If not for ESL, where do we stay? If not for IPOB, tell me where do I go?
Yeah, if not for IPOB and ESN, tell us where we'll go. This is beautiful. I mean, I don't know why I didn't even see this early. I just saw it this morning throughout, and it's been here for a while. This is a very good one. Quite a beautiful one by Biafra Got Talent. They really, really, really get talent. I think what I'm going to be doing, I'm planning to see if I'll be talking to some of these musicians live, because it's about time we start pushing them. Honestly, most of them are doing marvelously well, and they are the pioneers. They are the strong Biafrans that they are. So each time I'm making arrangements, I'm calling here and there to see if I can speak to some of them live on air, and we'll do that as soon as we can. Let's take a call now from caller on. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Caller on the principal officer's line. Caller on principal officer's line. Are you there? Unfortunately, it's not talking. I hope the line is okay, because I just set up all this stuff today, and let's see. Somebody's this line is persistently calling, and oh boy. All right, let me take this caller. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, Mazi Iyke, Dr. Iyke, good afternoon from here.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. A quick one. That was a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I just want to a quick one. The press release you just read, I think is a very good warning to the Janjaweed, because I think very soon ESN we still have to do more recruit, because anything these people want, we are going to give to them.
Yes.
Now, having said that, I just want to say what I think today. The federal government of the Fulani have rejected license Anambra State International, Anambra State Airport as international airport. They come their airport. Now, it's working with these government service politicians. They ultimately refuse to acknowledge the fact that these people want to Islamize, and these people want to kill Biafra at all costs. Don't spend their politics and everything they do. How will spend all the money they spend? Invited the House of that's why I said the committee that is in charge of administration to come and supervise this thing, and when they are done, they look for license. These people are going to issue them license. Now they ask them to operate it locally. Can you just imagine? So in the whole of Biafra International Airport, there's nothing you do that will give you the license. Everything we're talking about this thing. If so, how they do it, operated and managed by only Fulani, both oil and gas, everything Fulani, and anything Biafra can never start. And you still support this gender way. Is this thing about this one Nigeria? Despite the subjugation, despite the untold marginalization and how these people have for our people, the so-called elite and politicians are seen being stupid beyond reasonable doubt. You know what? I think what we are doing already is making impact, because I think Chevron and I think Ajib and other oil companies, they have stated, I think already said that they're going to leave Nigeria. Just like Southern has sold his thing and leaving Nigeria. So everywhere will be destabilized. If you don't give us Biafra, Nigeria can never stay. We will destabilize everywhere. That is the truth. So it's also good that they should be doing all this thing, so that the world will also be seeing more reason why the agitation of Biafra is legit, and we must get Biafra this time. I thank you very much for your business.
Thank you so much for your call. This is Mazi Iyke. My voice is coming out. I don't know. It sounds fun here in my ears. And let me take your call. So, call 646-920-4541. Somebody had called me on personal facility. I don't know what happened to that. The person is still there. It's called Stark. Actually, that number wasn't connected. It looked like it was not connected. Did everything because but we are saying here.
Yoshi.
Ohanese, Ohanese, Koko, Bande Fundiara, Ohanese, Chubabeko. See them, they watching us, we hear them as they calling us miscreant, jobless, terrorists, scammers. It's our real name. We are the miscreant, we are jobless, and we are terrorists, we are scammers. We must scam you of all you scammed us. Old fools, empty brains, old fools, sold your souls for chicken change. Proud slave, to the full on this, we must get you down. Ohanese, Ohanese, Yoshi, Ohanese, Ohanese, Koko, Bande Fundiara, Ohanese, Chubabeko. No forgiveness, no forgiveness. We must get you down. Oi saboteurs, do your worst, come do your worst. The governors, you sold us out. Evil kings, hungry fools, slave kings, shameless fools, brought evil men to Biafra land, a holy land, a blessed land, to kill us all. Then you obey, I build Biafra rising. Ohanese, Ohanese, Yoshi, Ohanese, Ohanese, Koko, Bande Fundiara, Ohanese, Chubabeko. This year, I say this year, I see freedom for me, for you. Wake up, stand up, Itu, Ikada, our keys in our hands. We open, we enter. This year, those of you knows, Vikings, Miss Blood, fighting us, getting us in a long Ipob. Ohanese, Ohanese, Yoshi, Ohanese, Ohanese, Koko, Bande Fundiara, Ohanese, Chubabeko.
Onye dọ na nwa aka n'ọdụ ma ọ dị ndụ ma ọ nwụrụ anwụ. Eastern Security Network ọkwa ha nọrọ onwe ha, ndị abịa eburu ọgụ wee bịaba. Ndị na-eche Biafra nche ọkwa ha nọrọ onwe ha, ndị abịa eburu ọgụ wee bịaba. Mana ọ bụ gịnị ka anyị na-anụzi? Ndị amị ha nọ n'ọsọ.
Very good afternoon to you from my side and to you, and then good evening to some of our listeners.
Welcome to the program.
Once again, I want to appreciate you. Thank you for the repetition of this. I think the message of our leader, like what Pastor Jack said, is very, very clear. It's very, very clear. I think the broadcast of yesterday was a landmark broadcast. It goes from ages to ages that our people should understand that in the name, that's one Nigeria. We are all done. We are all finished. We are all peril. We are all I don't know how to put it. We are gone as a people. Not only Biafrans, Oduduwa, and the Medo Belt. They know this. All of them know this. The only thing that I find out, like I said in your radio one of the days, there is nobody that these guys can recruit for whatever they are doing. They are not recruiting anybody. They are going to recruit Fulani in uniform to do this bidding for them. And I'm so happy. I called you earlier. Sorry about that. I thought you've opened your line. That a more powerful letter was direct. I think There's no two ways about it. They should understand our stand and understand the anger in us that we cannot be slave anymore. We will not be slave anymore. Biafran, Oduduwa, Middle Belt, if you want to be slave, so be it. We don't want to be running away from our land anymore. We want to develop our land. We want to take our destiny in our hand. We have not asked Lai Mohammed for what he's talking about. If the only thing they can do was only how to put Nigeria together, they are not talking about any other thing. Nothing else that matters to them. It's only to make sure that the Fulani keep on killing people, making sure that Nigeria is given totally to Fulani. You know, Mazi, do you know that before now, Fulani thought they have taken over Nigeria. I think they have already been rejoicing that they have taken over Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because what they did in Middle Belt, and there was no reprisal. There's no one who have questioned them that you have chased over 5 million people away from their land, and you occupy that land and rename it. The same thing they did in Kaduna, and there was no one to challenge it until Ipob came in picture. So I think they thought they have won. But hey, here is Ipob. Do you want us to do this in Fulani land? If you own one, so be it. But you must know, it's gonna be hectic, bro.
Yeah.
Mazi, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. All right, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're still taking calls here at 646-920-4541. I don't know my voice. I don't know if it's coming out very clearly because it kind of I don't know what I touched and something went off like I'm not hearing myself anymore. All right, I have a call coming in on a straight line. Caller on straight line. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here. Caller on straight line. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, Mazi Peter, can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
Okay, sir. Mazi Peter, to go to carry my drege. Shika. Our land like I know, what I land out I know, there. What the land Yoruba, I know, Mazi Peter, Shika. Shika na kushira the Shaya, Mepesha, Kamara na Patisi, I want to pass 10. Biafra all over the world. Remain for me, therefore. It is our land. The cost of death upon us is for us to have a very comfortable living like Joe Biden in America. That is the vision of death upon us. And the death went to prison. Who will accept that? Even Joe Biden or Pope will not accept that. Sacrificing using his own correct eye to see his father and his mother died because of us. That is why every Biafra, anywhere you are, every money you have is useless for you. If you don't donate it now for ESN, just look at our story, this message. Every human being on this planet Earth, take your pick and write out this message. Then you see who dead there. Tell them the Kanu. You people will see who he is and appreciate him with all your heart and all your love. To bring that to your money, to spend it, bring it for the table of death, to use it for airtime so that we will stick to pretend. And America that we are Biafra. Tell them to commit temple. Look at this. Judges chapter 6 is our story. Judges chapter 6 from verse 1 to end. Do you see verse 12, verse 14, and verse 17? Very, very important. Do you see the same Judges chapter 7 from verse 1 to end? Do you see verse 2, verse 7, verse 14, verse 22, and verse 24? Very, very important. Do you see the same Judges chapter 8 from verse 1 to end? Do you see verse 6 underlined? Verse 15, verse 21, verse 22, verse 23, and verse 27. Whether you are governor, whether you are senator, anything where you like, make you be. This generation of Biafra and IPOB that have decided to took us with our leader.
Thank you.
In the name of the Holy Spirit, to quote Biafra. Our papa, if you don't believe in Biafra now.
Thank you. All right, let's take another one. Caller Call on signal. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. There we welcome to the program.
Udod register. Shalom.
Welcome, sir.
How are you?
Good morning. It's not bad. I'm fine.
Yo, I'm what you want to do. You should manage your nabo. You know, in fact, after I was observing very well of these very emirs you call governors in Southeast, and they are useless or honest. Do you know that, to be frankly speaking, this useless nonsense you see the launch without no personnel on the ground. Do you know that this is just an invitation? It's an invitation to Janjaweed. That is what that means. They are working hand in hand with this Fulani Janjaweed. That thing is nothing but just an open invitation for Janjaweed to invade our land. You see them complaining that the Southeast Lodge, the Bubago cannot stop them. That thing is just pure lie, just formalities. The Southeast governor just invite them. They just use that rubbish to invite them in disguise that they are launching a Bubago. Nothing like a Bubago, nothing like security. They are inviting them. The Bubago means inviting them just for them to commit their men, bring their men down to our east buying. That is what that means. There's nothing more than that. But in order to confuse people think that they are launching a security outfit in order to protect our land. No, it's far from that. It's just an invitation. They use it to invite the Janjaweed. That's the only way for them to invite the Janjaweed in to come. These people are demons. They don't deserve to see the light of the day. I'm telling you the fact. You see those people? Oh my goodness me. This is exactly what it means. Nothing more than that. I'm telling you, Biafra, this is what that is an invitation. It's just an open invitation for Janjaweed to come in. Nothing like launching a Bubago or for protection or security outfit. They invite them. They use it. It's a key. That is a code to invite the Janjaweed to come in. They now start saying the not even a Bubago of the Southeast government launching will stop them. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. That's what that means. They think they can deceive us. Honestly, man. Honestly, this is unheard of. I'm telling you. You see, the more we waste time, I don't know. The men are angry. The more we wait an inch for these demons to call governors and the more we delay, the more they are causing more havoc. The more they are strategizing on how to destroy us. He said, we're in a battlefield now. What is we all are soldiers now? And we don't take threats we take threats very serious. These people are threats to us now. Don't you just eliminate the threat now and let our gathering free? Anyways, these people are demons. They don't have no soul in them. There's no conscience in them. They are there, and these people are working together. They are these governors are they as you see Mieti Allah, them too are Mieti Allah themselves. They are in fact they are all terrorists. They don't mean well for us in Biafra land. And we need to do the needful at center. Let me go the way so now. The thing has to once in a revolution now, in a struggle, in a fight, once he raise a gun, we don't go back. So can I change now? Let's complete this at once. These people are demons in our land because they are wicked than devil. I could not drag him. Long live our leader, Mazi Iyke. This is just what I want to chip in. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you. All right. Thank you very much. This is Radio Biafra USA too. They can do whatever they like to do, but yes, like my brother just said, just mentioned something that is very important. We have to be aware that this so-called Bubago means going to recruit the Fulanis to come in here and fight us. Very soon they will start telling you, oh, this is... And first of all, don't forget that there are some of these Fulanis who live in Enugu who are more Igbo than you are. So when they speak the Igbo language, you think they are Igbos. We know the game. The governors have to join ESN. We don't need them to get us anybody. They have to support the ESN financially, and that's what they're going to do, and that's the only way out. That's the only alternative. We're not taking anybody that they're sending to us because we don't know who these people are. I have a call on signal. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi Peters, good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Even though I don't know what happened before Pastor Jack came in, as soon as he came in, the voice became too low.
Yeah. I don't know what it is too.
Yes, but we'll manage it. Mazi Iyke, let's just face the fact. If you listen to Channel TV this morning, I do. When they called Ebubago, the Channel TV presenters were asking, what does he see? Are you referring to ESN? They argue with you themselves. Say, no, you are not talking of ESN. You're talking of Ebubago. You say, no, Ebubago is just Ebubago. It's not a security outfit. Anybody can just go to Channel TV and listen. That's what they are saying this morning.
Of course, that's what it is.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, he said, I said in Channel TV this morning. Anybody doubting me, go to Channel TV the panel this morning when they're discussing. That's exactly the word they use. They asked the guy, are you referring to ESN? He said, no, I'm talking about, he said, no, Bag is just a name. Is it a security network? They argue with, and the whole panel started laughing. Did you see where the whole squad leaders, that is, okay. That is, by the way, in the same Channel TV this morning, did you know that the Eastern governors have agreed to arrange the name of they are piling the name of ESN members to hand over to the army? That's what they said this morning. They said they are piling the note there. I also would use the opportunity to thank World Igbo Congress, because it's the entire Zoom media carried today. The news broke this weekend. And they made it clearly that they can't, even for the fact that there was no investigation from Imo State incident, the governor from that team already come to mention ESN and IPOB. That is also fault on their side. For that reason, they can't throw these people. The World Igbo Congress made it clear, and we commend them for that. And it is the high time Igbo start speaking in one voice. Look at Murik. Murik said that Pantami should not listen to the enemy of progress. He's doing a good work. He should continue. I don't know the good work he's doing. He only securing the data of the citizens so they can hand it over to terrorists. You watch out what is going on. The Eastern governors. Our leader yesterday, my ear, that is my eardrum, is full of pain. Look at this man they're suffering in the name of broadcasting. Start from the first minute to analyzing Lai Mohammed nonsense utterances he made in the name of unity. Right from Dankote and until you feel that broadcast. If you are a human being listening to that broadcast, you carry a heart at hand like this, listening to our leader yesterday. You know, what else can we, where else can, what exactly the Igbos really want? That they have somebody like this. They say, come to go to, okay, now we are telling also, Fulanis are saying they are bringing thousands of them to counter Ebubago. They didn't say counter ESN. Meaning this opportunity for them to come down. Then they want to face Ebubago. And the bag is nowhere to be found. Who are you going to face? As I said, that anybody should listen to this useless man called General Mai. Even when the question was posed to him from an audience from that particular Zoom meeting, what exactly the meaning of Ebubago? Where are you? He started anything you ask him to explain about this Ebubago, he jumped into ESN and the IPOB. Meaning in exactly nonsense, that means the Ebubago was formed to attack ESN and attack IPOB. That is exactly what it is. Go to Zoom media, entire Zoom media today. Mazi Iyke, did you know our doctor? Did you know that Fulani have refused to give Anambra State a license to launch Anambra Airport as the international? Did you know the reason they give? They say it was security purpose. I don't know security. The whole border in the north are open. Where the real terrorist is. Fulanis are the third most dangerous people in the world, the terrorists, which international have already named them. Now, where are they from? They are from north. There's no single terrorist in the east. And the Fulani minister, in the name of aviation minister, are telling Anambra State people that he cannot give you a license for international landing for Anambra New Brown Airport. They can't even allow one single plane to land there to test the capacity of the airport. Meaning the reason being that is security. What security are you talking about? The one thing the Fulani should know, that what makes Nkaku smell is in his body. The thing that will bring a weapon from abroad. The she-goat, the what makes she-goat smell is in his body. So they like, now who is the Mieti Allah? Now that you build the whole international airport, you can't even launch it international. You are now be limited from Abuja to Lagos. Did you see people that they are serving? Go and serve them and come back to shame. God bless you, Agita.
Thank you very much. This is a very good one. Honestly, it's very interesting because why is it interesting? For me, during the war, we had Uli Airport. Uli Airport and Al overnight and international flights coming to it. Forget about these people. They're fooling themselves. International, local, what difference does it make? All you need to do is sign the paper, right? And when you sign the paper, all of a sudden the tarmacs will change to international. All of you are fools. If you are making that because you think we are going to bring weapons and anything in, okay, even if we do, so what? We'll still fly them in. Build them locally, like my brother said. It's in your body. We already have what we need. We don't need to import anything, idiots. Come down. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for that thing that will happen. Caller on Principal Officer's line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, thank you, Mazi Iyke, and good afternoon from here, Mazi. My name is Desmond, and I'm calling from Italy. Mazi, before I comment on your program this afternoon from here, let me quickly bring this message to our people, Biafrans in Italy, from IPOB national body, signed by the IPOB national coordinator in Italy. It's a call to support ESN because it's a continuous process. And we have to support ESN. And if you're a Biafran in Italy or a group affiliated to Biafrans in Italy, to support ESN in Italy, you have to call these numbers: +39 35 100 46055. I repeat the number again: +39 35 100 46055. This number is for the national coordinator IPOB in Italy. I call the second number, which is +39 3512 551274. 5512 This number is for the IPOB National PRO in Italy. If you call the numbers, you'll be directed on how to support ESN. Mazi, thank you very much. Mazi, to your topic this afternoon, you see, Mazi, there is one thing I want our people, Biafrans all over the world, to understand that Mieti Allah and Fulani terrorists, there is nothing good that can ever come out of those people about Biafrans or even about Nigeria. They are there only for destruction because they are there to destroy the whole system and the whole place. So this is their work. So we should understand this thing when they are doing this thing. The main issue in Biafra is the governors that we have. You see, if the governors did not gather themselves with their IG and their military and say they are forming a Bubago, Mieti Allah will not come out to say they are bringing 5,000 men to defend their whatsoever thing they want to do in the southeast. It's very, very funny. Because Mieti Allah, they now think maybe they're not feeling God. They now think that they have the monopoly of invasion. You see, what I will say is that I think Biafrans will make up our mind, even our Biafrans in the north and all over the place, because we're everywhere. You see, there is time for everything. If Mieti Allah, if there is another attack in the southeast or in Biafra land again, we'll attack the north. Especially Sokoto, where they have these Mieti Allah people, we attack them where their family are, we attack them, we kill their family, we kill their children. It's very simple. You see, when we take these measures, they will understand. Because, you see, we keep saying, if you come to our land, we kill in our land. So maybe they think, because our people don't like to spill innocent blood, how we are, So maybe they are thinking their monopoly of killing or of invading people's land or attacking people in their land. This is what Mieti Allah is thinking. And it's provoking. And our patience is going dry because we cannot continue to hear this nonsense. We are telling you we don't want Fulani in our land, in our forest. We are telling us you want to protect you, to do what in our land. Okay, because during the pandemic, they were using trailer to float Fulani into the east, and we all just kept quiet because of the useless governors we have. And now they have the gospelers that they want to bring. They should bring them. And if there is another attack in the east or in Biafra, we attack the north. We attack Sokoto, we attack Katsina, where they have Fulani people with their family. We attack them, we kill them, we kill their wives, we kill their children. What is it? How long can we continue this? What nonsense? What nonsense is that? We attack the north. Mazi, thank you. This thing is we are running out of patience. In fact, that Nigeria, if they don't take time, If we decide to attack that Nigeria with the way we are spread over Nigeria, Nigeria cannot, they should be careful. What nonsense may Allah will just sit somewhere and talk nonsense anytime they like. They can do that with other people. They can't do it with we. With the Biafrans, we are above that. What nonsense is that? You want to bring 5,000 men to do what? If there is an attack in the east, we attack the north. What nonsense? We kill them, we kill their wives, we kill their children, we kill everybody there. Born everywhere. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. See, the point is that they're saying all these things to provoke you. They are not full of me. What have they ever said that they've accomplished? I remember when they first sit at home, they threatened, we're giving Igbos 3 months to leave. Well, it's getting to 3 years now, and nothing has happened. So don't take them seriously. They're just running their mouth. They're not going anywhere. Caller, good morning. Caller on Principal Officer's line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, sir.
Turn down your radio. I hear my voice in the background. Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm not with my radio. I'm outside.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Maybe it's not work. Yes, thank you very much, because it is not work. I called before, it was cut off.
Yes.
I'm thanking you, my boss. I'm thanking you for what you people are doing. But this morning, I want to say something concerning the Ebube Yerago. Because that Ebube Yerago, the Eastern governor formed, it is to attack ESN. Because if you people could remember, when the Fulani was coming in the time of pandemic, they were carrying them both in trailer, trailer, both buses. I've been watching television, a news where there were about 400 and something Fulanis were stopped with their buses. Since then, nobody knows where they are, even today.
Yes.
They were coming in Eastern region. But those people, where are they? I begin to find out, those people is the people they want to use as a Bubeyarago to defend themselves. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They will mix up with the Sabo in those our brothers, with the Fulani they have brought in because of ESN. They know, if you could remember, that time they said there is nobody with no movement. But the Fulanis are coming into Eastern region, but the governors keep silence, showing that the governors know what they are doing. They were bringing those people in the time of like this, so that they will use them to attack ESN. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the Eastern people shall be very, very careful, and we have to let the Hausa people to know. Because of the Hausa people, the Fulani have the opportunity to come into our land. I will let the Hausa people, if they are hearing my voice now, let the Hausa people identify themselves. Because I don't know Hausa, I don't know Fulani, because they are together, I don't know who is who. Because I see them as ones. I see them as the same people. Because through that mosque in Eastern region, the Hausa people will come in there. The Fulani will come in there. When they want to attack, the Hausa are there. They are discussing, they do the same business. But the Hausa people will keep silence. And this Fulani will continue killing our people. Do you understand me?
Yes.
The Hausa know those people. They know them. The real Hausa, we see as our brothers, our people. They know those Fulani that are doing those things, but they are keeping silence. When we are saying all these things, the same eyes the Northern used to see all the whole Easterners. It's the same thing the people we see the whole Northerners. Let every Northerners identify themselves, because it is getting too much.
Thank you.
I thank God today. I thank God today that all the eyes are open. Everyone is seeing what is going on. May God bless everyone that is fighting for the freedom of the people.
Yeah, well.
God bless you,
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. I don't think, we don't have enough time left, most of our time. I use it up for us to listen to our leaders' broadcast, because it's very, very important. Very important that we listen, we pay attention consistently to his broadcast, because the time is very close. We don't have any more time left. Biafra will be on any time, any day, so open your ears. I have a call. Let me take this as the very last call. The caller on straight line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
If we do the last, thank you very much, Ike Peter.
Yeah.
This is Mazi Iyke calling from Biafra land. let me just make my own very little, very brief. I will only talk about these 5,000 jihadists. The Fulani said they will send to the Biafra land. Now, I want to ask, these 5,000 jihadists you say you want to send to Biafra land, are they going to, the 5,000 people, are they going to fight the whole of Biafra land? Or, for example, if somebody knows Abba too well, that's Abba, will that 5,000 people kill the whole of people at Ungwa Road alone? That is Ungwa Road alone. Or going to Obohil, the 5,000 jihadists, are they going to finish the whole people at Obohil? Talking of the whole Biafra land. You see, these people they are fools. They think like cows. So they think that if we hear 5,000 jihadists will come to Biafra land, then we start to shiver. Let them come. We will welcome them. We will cook food for them. Let them come. We will cook food with their own flesh and then give to them to eat. Let's welcome them. Let them send the 5,000 people. We are waiting for them. If they will finish the whole of Ungwa Road or the whole of Obohil or Umongati, that is talking about alone, not Enugu, Calabar, or other places. Let them come. So let me stop to us because there's no more time.
Thank you very much for being considerate. All right, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. We are going to, I'm going to stop taking our calls at this time. Can go any further with calls. So tomorrow is another day, don't forget, we'll be together again. And USA 1 is coming on. USA 1 will be there anytime soon. I'm hearing some statics on my equipment, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe need some oiling. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. My brothers, there's no panic. There is nothing to fear. The Fulani don't run their mouth. They want to send 5 million men. Why? They only 5,000. That was wrong. We should send more. And the important thing is when they're sending them, please make sure that you give them the best arsenal, the best plans to bring in to Biafra land. That's what we need. And for those who are wondering about the big weapon, that's not anything. Go out the airport is airport, whether you call it, if I have a baptismal in Ghana, international local, you baptize it when you baptize it and call it international, or they can be the tarmac. No, it's the same airport, the same facility, the same whatever. So you can call it. Don't forget that during the war, the planes can run in the streets, the highway. I have seen it happen. When he wasn't at the airport. When he was just on the road overnight, and they created an airport there. Flights were coming internationally, going out from there internationally. So what's the big deal? They are afraid of their shadow. You know, IPOB and USA have come to stay. Biafra is something that is here already. They are so scared, they don't know what's the next move. Go to any of them, go to Lai Muhammad, just as he's looking at one, just starting down the car, the man thinks, I hope about doing on 1 million because he is the name that starts here. It's Mazi Iyke, IPOB. IPOB starts here in the minds of all of them. Everybody is panicking. They are fooling themselves. They want to, waiting here is letting they are going to bring them. Why you want to tell us that? We don't need to do that. Go ahead. I think it's surprise. Because when you start feeling it, that means they're not going to do it. You cannot do it. You don't have the guts. You don't have the balls to do it. But even if you want to do it, please make sure that you bring in the right weapon. All that we need to do within ourselves is to support the ESN. It's very simple to make donations. Go to www.IPOBUSA.org/donate and then say donate. To open up for you, whatever contribution you want to make, do it there. It will go to the right source. I heard somebody ask a question yesterday. It says IPOB USA. No, it's IPOB in. You say IPOB USA, the money is that's not the right website. The website is www.IPOBINUSA.org/and then say donate. Support for our ESN is very, very important. It is part of what we are doing, and we have to really make sure that we do our donation and contributions effectively. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. All right, it looks like something is happening here today. I can tell you that. Playing some music, but I'm not hearing anything. I don't know why. It's just start talking and let's see if it's